Election season is in full swing, and it's always a pleasure when our congressman joins us at the desk.
Yes, it is. Here now, an update of what's going on in the political world. A whole lot to talk about, Congressman Louie Gohmert. So first of all, your race, congratulations. You had 83%. I think you're on your way, young man.
Well,
it's going to be okay.
It's gratifying. You know, one of the hardest things to figure out in politics, when somebody's calling you names, do you respond to that and risk giving it legs and more attention than it does if you don't respond? On the other hand, as Tony Snow, that helped George H.W. Bush, told me, he said he kept telling George H.W. Bush, when somebody keeps attacking your honor and you don't defend it, eventually they say you don't have any honor. And so that's the tough thing in politics. But apparently, and look, I know it's not because of my looks and not because of the way I sound.
You were kidding me.
It's because I represent the largest part of East Texas the way they think. And that's, you know, I was being criticized for being in the media so much. I think it's people are hungry for the common sense of East Texas. I heard it when I was helping Ted Cruz in Iowa and South Carolina, even New Hampshire. They love the East Texas common sense. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Speaking of not common sense, what's going on with the Republican establishment? Everybody is so mad at the establishment. What is it? Kids would say, what is up with that?
They've been tone deaf for years, and they would encourage people to run about, oh, we're going to secure the border and no amnesty, and then as soon as they'd get in office, they'd say, we got to do this amnesty because the National Chamber and big business wants
cheap labor.
Yeah, and well, wait a minute, that's not what we ran on. But over and over, we had leadership that would say, well, we're going to take care of those other things, but we need you to be a team player on, you know, the amnesty and more H-1B visas, and got to help Microsoft. Well, all it was doing was helping them hire foreigners when there were plenty of people with science and math background.
Here goes
degrees.
The can down the road.
There it goes. So anyway, they're tired of it, and that's why the top two people in the presidential election are certainly not establishment.
And let's talk about the top two people for a second here. Now, Israeli relations, definitely very near and dear to our country's hearts, but more specifically your constituents here in East Texas. Recently, Donald Trump said that he could see both sides of the fence in the Palestinian-Israeli relations. Why do you think that it's so important that we elect a president that is solidly for Israel?
Well, of course, the vast majority of East Texans know we need to be close to Israel. We need to be their friend. But Kaci, you raised a great point. You know, when when Trump brought that up, I'm going, wait a minute. You see both sides, because on one side you have people that have said over and over, we want to wipe Israel off the map, we want to kill all the Israelis, we want to kill all the children of Israel, all Jews. On the other hand, you have the children of Israel going, look, we just want to live in peace, and we hadn't been able to do it. You know, it was the Holocaust and all that.
Right.
And so how do you compromise? Okay, we're going to let guys over here kill half of the children of Israel. I mean, that's about the only compromise you can get, because even if, as we saw in the Oslo Accords, basically Israel offered the Palestinians almost everything they wanted. If they had accepted it, it would have been impossible to defend Israel the way it was. They didn't accept it, but that showed us they really just want the children of Israel out of the Middle East.
Let me ask you this, Trump or Cruz, who would you rather work with?
Well, I've been supporting Ted. I like Trump. You know, when you have the guy punching you in the chest going, you're my kind of guy, I love you, you're great. Did you get my contribution? I'm going, yeah, I did, thank you very much. You're my kind of guy. It's hard not to like a guy like that, but I've endorsed Ted early last year.
Just to follow up, though, in a way, though, I think it is good in a way that I think it's great that the Republican establishment, those higher than you, the elite, so to speak, they're getting shaken up. I think it's about time. I think it's good to get some more people in the party.
I think it's great to get people in the party, and you've got a lot of union members who are going, wait a minute, the union leaders want an amnesty when those people are taking our jobs? Why, this doesn't make sense. So there's a lot of union members out there that are looking for somewhere to go. And then I also tell Republican groups, there are a lot of groups that traditionally vote Democrat. We should not write any of them off. And of course, I'm talking about dead people. Dead people traditionally vote almost 100% Democrat, and I think we ought to be vying for some of those votes too.
Yeah. Now, your endorsement of Ted Cruz, you solidly endorsed him. He won Texas in last Super Tuesday.
Yeah.
What is he going to have to do, though, moving forward if he wants to clinch that nomination?
Well, I think it's just get his message out more loudly and clearly, because it is where a majority of Americans go. And actually, look, he'd been talking about no amnesty, and I can tell you from private meetings we had trying to strategize once Rubio got on board with the Gang of Eight bill, and he became the face of that Schumer amnesty, was what can we do to slow it down in the Senate so we can stop it in the House. And I can tell you, every single thing Ted did and said was consistent with our meetings and our strategy to slow it down in the Senate. And so it kind of hurts when people say he's a liar when he was the most consistent guy there. But I just think getting the message out more.
In 15 seconds, Cruz or Trump, can they beat Hillary Clinton?
I think either one of them will be able to.
You think so? Because all the beautiful people in my chair say that can't happen. She's too popular.
She's popular, but I mean, as we're seeing, I think the Justice Department will end up recommending indictment. But as long as she doesn't badmouth Obama, they won't indict her.
All right, we shall see. Congressman Gohmert, always a pleasure to have you on our anchor desk.
Thank you. Always great to be with you. Thanks.
And as always, for another look at this interview, you can visit our website. That's myeasttex2ts.com.